Skreg is a strength-based tank from the Mauler faction who specializes in not only tanking but also buffing his teammates. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at his skills and abilities, his teams and uses, and whether or not it's worth investing in this hero, so let's get into it. For Skreg's ultimate ability, Beast of Burden, it first has a little passive that states his Iron Jaw steed cannot be knocked backwards. Now after that, when he actively uses this ultimate skill, Skreg is going to mount his Iron Jaw and they're going to stomp around. Now while he is mounted, he's going to lose energy every second until it's depleted. Now, while he is mounted, Skreg is going to get increased attack, be immune to CC, and his normal attacks will deal damage twice and also knock down the enemies. The next ability, Brute Force. For this ability, Skreg's Iron Jaw is going to knock the enemy into the air, and if it is successful, Skreg will then do a 3-stage attack on them, dealing some extra damage. Now, as a skill up for this ability, it adds to the ability Skreg has when he's mounted on the Iron Jaw, which means Skreg will beat his drums, the Iron Jaw will stomp around and knock enemies back whilst also dealing damage. The next ability, Iron Skin, is a passive that basically reduces the damage Skreg takes the closer he is to his enemies. When they are within striking range of Skreg, he will get damage reduction up to 60%. For his final ability, Stampede, this is another passive where every 8 seconds he's going to summon a little Iron Jaw that's going to run across the battlefield. It's going to target the enemy closest to your side of the field and knock them back and stun them along with any other enemies in its path. Now for Skreg's signature item ability, Beast Rider. This means that his Beast of Burden ability will no longer drain energy for the first 5 seconds after he mounts up on his Iron Jaw. Now when we look at the level 10 and 30 upgrades for this ability, it's going to mean that at level 10 he only requires 500 energy to activate his ultimate ability, and at level 30 he's only going to require 200 energy to activate that ultimate ability, and for level 20 it's going to increase the energy recovery for Skreg when he is injured by 50%. And finally, we have Skreg's furniture ability, Vanguards of Pain. At level 3, this ability is going to increase his allies' attack rating and also reduce the damage they take while they are battling on the enemy's half of the battlefield. And at level 9, allied heroes are also going to recover 100 energy points every 3 seconds while fighting in that enemy side of the battlefield. Largely due to the fantastic support provided by Skreg's furniture ability, he has his own teams built around him where he is the core unit and you bring other units that can take advantage of his passive. So in these types of teams, we're looking for anything that can fight in the enemy side of the battlefield or anything that does lunge. So we have things like Titus, Citrana, Athalia, Gorvo, Zafrael, and many other units that fight in the enemy's side of the battlefield predominantly. This allows them to get those buffs from Skreg's furniture. So the team that we're going to look at in this video is going to consist of Skreg, Citrana, Titus, Numisu, and Kren. Now we do have Kren and Numisu in this team, even though they don't fight on the enemy side of the battlefield. Those two are there to balance out the team. We have Numisu with the heals, but also some distraction from the totems. And then Kren has the added ability to knock enemies back that may advance further onto your side of the field, but also he's going to have those bombs at the back of the field, which are going to explode and deal damage as you continually knock back the enemies with Skreg and Titus. Then obviously we have Skreg, who's going to be marching forward, knocking enemies backwards into those bombs, but also dealing some nice damage, but not taking too much himself as he is going to be very close to the enemy team. After that, we have Titus, who's going to be doing knockbacks on the enemy team, once again pushing them further into their side, allowing the rest of your team to advance, but also fearing them, causing them to run away and even proc those bombs by Kren again. And finally, we have Citrana, who has a really well balanced kit to slot into invade teams. She can pounce forward with her abilities, she has strong damage mitigation in her abilities, and also she can provide some healing reduction effects on the enemy team to allow you to get that damage in and defeat them. For Skreg's artifact, there's different options you can take depending on the situation. We have the Waistband of Resilience, which is fantastic if Skreg is taking a lot of damage. It gives him a good chunk of HP and defense, along with a solid shield. We then have the Barricade, which is fantastic for protecting another ally who might be getting killed too early. And if you haven't unlocked those yet, we have the Chalice of Vitality, which once again is going to be more for Skreg, keeping himself alive. And we have Jura's Call, which is going to be more offensive, allowing him to mount up on his Iron Jaw faster and start advancing into the enemy lines. So with all that out of the way, how far do we actually want to invest into Skreg? Now, it's a tough question, this one. For his signature item, 20 is a very safe point. You can save 30 signature item upgrades for other heroes. He doesn't really need it. But his furniture will heavily depend on the type of team you are using with him. 3 is mandatory across the board to use Skreg in these teams because he at least needs that attack buff and the mitigation provided. Now, if you're using a team where your ultimate abilities are going to be vital to your victory, you'll really want to push him up to that 9 furniture to unlock that ability. But for a lot of teams, 3 furniture will be enough. So a good recommendation is to build him to 3 furniture, test him in the teams you want to use him in. And if you're not quite happy with it and you'd like that extra energy regeneration, then you invest up to 9 furniture on him. So that is going to be it for Skreg. Not only an incredibly hard to kill tank, but also an amazing support for his teammates with that furniture ability. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome day and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.